Among the key topics discussed during the press conference of Russian President Vladimir Putin and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is the future of the Black Sea grain deal. Vergil Parba reports.
Russian President Vladimir Putin claimed that the West deceived Moscow about the humanitarian goals of the Black Sea Initiative during a joint press conference with Turkish leader Recep Tayyip Erdogan following talks in Sochi earlier this week. The Black Sea grain deal was signed in Istanbul in July 2022 between the representatives of Turkey, Russia, Ukraine, and the United Nations. It has been extended multiple times but expired on July 17, 2023 after Russia pulled out of the deal, saying that their side of the agreement was not being implemented. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky earlier stated that Kiev was determined to continue the work of the Black Sea Grain Initiative or its counterpart in a tripartite format including Ukraine, the UN, and Turkey. He claimed that the deal had ensured the exports of up to 33 million tons of agricultural produce to 45 countries of the world, with 60% shift to countries in Africa and Asia. But during the press conference with Erdogan, Putin revealed that most of it went to wealthy nations and only a few were delivered to countries that needed it most. Putin stressed that 32.8 million tons of cargo were exported from Ukraine and more than 70% went to wealthy countries, mostly in the European Union, while only 3% or less than 1 million tons of the cargo went to countries that need food assistance. Putin also pointed out that Russia would be ready to consider the possibility of resuming the grain deal if all the agreements to lift restrictions on exports of Russian agricultural products will be implemented. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, for his part, hopes that the deal would be revived one way or another. He revealed that a package of consultations with the UN was in the works. Erdogan also said, quote, "The alternative proposals placed on the agendas did not meet expectations in terms of security and other aspects. Our Russian friends have made clear their expectations in this regard, and we emphasized these expectations at different platforms." To recall, the Foreign Ministry of Russia said that the blatant sabotage of the Black Sea grain deal defeats the purpose of continuing it, which did not live up to its humanitarian rationale, while Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said that it could return as soon as the Russian part is implemented. The uncertainty of the future of the grain deal puts the rest of the world on edge. And to recall, last Sunday, which is days before the talks between Putin and Erdogan took place, Russia launched a barrage of drone attacks at a port located in Odessa region, and this port is being used by Ukraine to export grain. Ukraine's Air Force said they shot down 22 out of the 25 drones destined for the Danube River port infrastructure, the country's main route for shipping grain after the deal broke down in July. Reporting, this has been Vergil Parba, Azemani News.
Russian President Vladimir Putin made a shocking and straightforward comment against his Ukrainian counterpart Vladimir Zelensky and the West. Russian President Vladimir Putin claimed that the West is using Zelensky's Jewish heritage to cover for the culpability of Ukrainian nationalists in the Holocaust during the Second World War. He also talked about Stepan Bandera, a Ukrainian prominent figure declared a war criminal by both Poland and the Soviet Union for killing Ukrainian Jews. Bandera was the leader of the militant arm of the Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists during World War II, and up to this day, he remains a divisive figure in Ukraine, with some hailing him as a liberator from the Soviets, while others consider him to be a Nazi collaborator for killing 1.5 million Ukrainian Jews and for living with his deputies under German protection after World War II started. Bandera was eventually assassinated by the Soviet spies in 1959. The Ukrainian government, however, declared Bandera a national hero in 2010. Zelensky is of Jewish heritage, while his grandfather, Semyon, fought in the Second World War and earned 2 Red Star medals for his courage and heroism. In a 2019 interview with broadcaster Ukrainska Pravda, Zelensky described Bandera as a hero for some Ukrainians, and that is normal and cool.
Западные кураторы поставили во главе современной Украины человека, этнического еврея с еврейскими корнями, с происхождением еврейским. И таким образом, на мой взгляд, они как бы прикрывают такую человеческую сущность, которая положена во фундамент, в основу современного украинского государства. И это делает всю ситуацию в высшей степени отвратительной. Тем, что этнический еврей прикрывает героизацию нацизма и прикрывает тех, кто возглавлял в свое время холокостное поколение. А это уничтожение 1,5 миллиона человек. И вы знаете, лучше всего это понимают простые граждане Израиля. Посмотрите, пожалуйста, что они говорят в интернете.
The United States authorities issued warnings to schools in the eastern part of the country due to the intense heat that forced many educational institutions to shift to remote learning. Kai Villan has the details.
Many schools in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA have switched to remote learnings due to intense heat waves. And this extreme weather is not only in Pennsylvania. In fact, the whole eastern part of the United States is currently grappling with intense weather. Several cities set records on Monday, marking it as the hottest Labor Day in history. Minneapolis recorded 98 degrees, while Atlantic City, New Jersey, recorded 94 degrees. And on Tuesday, the extreme heat wave was felt from Minnesota to Texas and to Massachusetts. The U.S. forecasted that the extreme heat wave could reach up to 99 degrees in Washington, D.C., 91 degrees in New York City, 97 degrees in Raleigh, North Carolina, 93 degrees in Minneapolis, 91 degrees in Chicago, 100 degrees in Oklahoma City, and 102 degrees in Dallas and San Antonio. Meanwhile, Washington, D.C. mayor issued a heat emergency warning. The city of New York has warned that temperatures could reach up to 90 degrees for 3 days, marking this as the city's first heat wave season. The intense heat will continue in the south from Texas to Florida, and temperatures could go higher throughout the week. Kai Villan reporting, SM9 News.